All right, guys, that is Colton Dixon, Brand New Life. I hope you guys enjoyed that. I want to talk about today the topic of fear. All right. I want to talk to you guys about fear. What is that thing that you are keeping to yourself? That thing that you don't want to share with other people? That thing that you think if it's exposed into the light, my entire world is going to crumble. I don't know what's going to happen. What is that thing? What is that thing that you are fearful about letting go of, or saying, God, this is what I'm struggling with? Because sometimes if we expose that thing and shed light onto that thing, we think that God's going to make us confess sin to other people or whatever the case is. And sometimes, yes, if it affects other people, we have to come clean and admit our truths, admit our wrong, our activity, our involvement. And that causes fear. That causes us to worry, like, I don't know what's going to happen in these relationships if I let go of my fear, cling on to truth, and let God take control of everything. So what is that thing? Because Satan uses fear to paralyze you. So we can be moving forward in ministry. We can be moving forward in the stuff that God has for us. And that's cool. But there's part of us that can't move past a certain spot because God is saying, okay, if you want to pass go, you have to, like Monopoly, it says collect $200, right? Or you have to pay a tax, right? Before you can move forward. Sometimes God's like, yes, I want you to move forward, but you can't do that until you let go of this. Admit that. Be honest with yourself about this. And so we're kind of just frozen in our tracks, in our ministry, in our relationships, because we are not ready to let go of the thing that has us in bondage, because we are fearful of what the outcome may be. So what is that? What is that for you? I don't want people to find out that secret sin that I have. I don't want people to find out because I don't know what's going to happen when they do. I don't know what relationships are going to fall apart. I don't know if I'm going to get that job. I don't know if I'm going to get that promotion. I'm not sure if my wife is going to leave me, if my husband is going to leave me. I don't know if my kids will forgive me. I don't know if my family will forgive me. I don't know what's going to happen if I shed light on this area in my life that I'm struggling in. Because sometimes it's not the fact that we're just shedding light on it. Because for some of us, for a lot of us, if we are over that thing and we're past it, it's easier to shed light on it versus when we are still in it and we still want it, we still enjoy it. That makes it a lot difficult. A lot more difficult. And so to shed light on something that you're still struggling with can be fearful, can be something that we just aren't sure if we're going to do or not, right? So if we end up hiding our fear, not confessing it, what we're doing is we're giving it power. We're giving it fuel. And it says in Isaiah 41:10, fear not, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you. I will help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. Don't be afraid is what he's saying. Don't be afraid of who's going to leave you, what they're going to think, what they're going to say, what's going to be taken away from you. I've got you. I am with you. I am your God. I will strengthen you. I'll help you. I'll uphold you. Don't worry about it. Fear not. 2 Timothy says in 1:7, for God gave us a spirit, not of fear, but of power, love, and self-control. So that fear that we have is not of God. That's from the enemy. Fear is from the enemy. That's not God. So when we are fearful about something, that's a check in our spirit. And God's like, wait a second, that's this area, that's not me. Let's immediately shed light on it. Let's immediately confess it, because there's something about confessing our sin. Man, When we just confess it to God, that is great and that is amazing. It's being truthful with ourselves and where we're at, being truthful with God. But when we take it to the next level, right, and we're walking with people, fellowshipping with people, and we're truthful with them, and we shed light on that thing, it's something about expressing and exposing our sin and our struggles with other people that sets us free in a different kind of way. It's like it's taking the weight off, that burden off, that yoke off that was not meant for us to carry. And we're just, it gives us a breath of fresh air, a sigh of relief. And when you do this with people whom you can trust and who will encourage you and love on you, it's so amazing, guys. Fear not, for God is with you. Don't worry about what's going to happen, because if you don't give it to God, if you don't confess it, if you keep it held into yourself, that thing will fester, it will grow, and it will produce its own fruit, and that fruit will not be of God. So don't think that you could do this on your own. Don't think that you can deal with this on your own, because you are not in control of the fruit that you produce when your heart is hardened towards God in a certain area, because what you're doing is giving way and giving authority to the enemy to work in your life. Then he has permission to produce the kind of fruit he wants. When you aren't giving it to God, you're giving it to the enemy. We know what that's like, guys. You can't control your behavior, good or bad, because there's certain times when the enemy comes in, pushes your buttons, right? But God can control it. The Holy Spirit can control it when we give it to him. He can show us how to be the man of God, the woman of God that he's created us to be, producing the fruits of the Spirit that he's called us to walk in. All right, guys. Chris Howland, I got you. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Don't be fearful of what's going on around you. Don't be fearful of the stuff that you struggle with. Set yourself free. Give it to God. Express it. Shed light on it. And that's when your journey to freedom begins. That's when you can start the process of healing. Until then, we're stuck.